Hi everyone, this is CricketSong with Lunar Wisdom, and you're watching Starting Out Solitary. It is sub-week, week 193, and we're talking about zodiac signs. So we were asked if we use zodiac signs, if we relate to zodiac signs. If we use them, which do we use? Do we use Chinese, fairy, regular zodiac signs? I know what zodiac signs are, and I've had my natal chart done. I've had my son, my daughter, and my husband's natal chart done. I've read through the chart that I had done. I've had a reading or two in relation to my zodiac sign or my astrological chart, but in general I don't use them. Do I relate to them? I feel like this particular chart that I'm going to share little bits and pieces with you relate to me. I do. I feel like I resonate with it. I feel like there is something there. I believe that there is a vibrational frequency that was happening when we were born or when we were manifested on the earth. And I do think that energy, that vibrational frequency that was going on while we were manifested affects us because we're all energy. So I believe that there is something there to look at. I've just not been called to learn how to do charts or really, I don't know, I just don't, I don't read my horoscope. I think they're interesting. I guess I would prefer to live my life and make choices without having too much of an influence from other things, but only consult them when I need insight or guidance, if that makes sense. So my natal chart that I had done was done, I don't remember how long ago it was done. It was done a while ago. And when I look at this, I'm looking at it as I'm talking with you. My sun's sign is Aquarius, that I knew. I guess it looks like that my ascendant is Virgo, and I'm not too sure what that means because it didn't, in particular, this natal chart that I had done doesn't really address what having a Virgo in my ascendant means. The other thing that I know, I've been told by other individuals, that it's whatever sign is in your moon is also really like one of the important things. And I guess my moon is in Taurus. And what I've been told and what I read here, it means that even though Aquarius, my sun sign, is an air sign, which, interesting enough, when I was growing up I thought it was a water sign, but that Taurus is an earth sign, which gives me a strong will and a really rooted and grounded sense of being. And there's a maternal instinct there, and I create a very strong foundation for myself and for others, which makes sense. So I guess if I just look at that and say, okay, so my moon is in Taurus, which keeps me grounded, and my sun sign is Aquarius, which is very airy, I feel like just not even considering myself, but looking at that tells me that, wow, I can be very creative and a free thinker and a dreamer, but yet still be very rooted in the physical realm, which I think really describes who I am anyway, especially since I know that Aquarians can be seen as being very standoffish and aloof, but because I'm sort of independent and which I am, and I really feel it's important to be true to oneself, having a dreamer and a creative individual. You know, I write, I create videos, I enjoy art. I went to college and have a degree in drama. So all that creative, dreaming, imaginative characteristics that I do resonate with, work well with, I guess, what they're suggesting a Taurus, a moon in Taurus would suggest, you know, being very grounded, very calming, very rooted. So, I mean, I feel like those two make sense. I'm looking at other things and I don't know what these things mean, you know, where my, you know, square in Mercury, Mars, trine Mercury, Venus in the 7th house. I don't know. I mean, there's descriptions here and I can, you know, like, okay, so that Venus in the 7th house, I'm reading here, word for word, this is what it says. Venus in 7. Fate depends a lot on marriage. Marries for love, children, happy emotional life, lives for relationships. It's hard to think about being alone. Harmony is most important to you, so it is unlikely you will attempt to dominate a lover. You're a peacemaker, sometimes going to great lengths to achieve a balanced, harmonious relationship. Be careful not to bend over backwards just to keep the peace. You may be taken advantage of. Your marriage partner may be especially attractive, charming, or well off. You're extremely agreeable and charming, drawing others to you magnetically. You need an unusual amount of contact and exchange with a partner and might find that you feel completely lost without one. Some of you might quickly enter into partnerships, perhaps too quickly, and are neither equipped nor prepared for the responsibilities that a long-term relationship demands. In some cases, there can be a shallow or materialistic interest in partners. And then it talks about some physical hips and lower back may be special erogenous zones for you, or they may be especially attractive body parts. I don't know. I guess if I think of this and I think about myself, I live for relationships. Well, if I think about that, relationships and interactions with people are important to me, not just marriage, and maybe not even just friends, but I believe in the unity of the human race and humanity as all connected. So the fact that I do make and create YouTube content and I do teach and mentor and guide others, relationships between me and other people, student, teacher, mentor, peers, family, it's important to me, but to live for relationships, I don't know. It's hard for me to think about being alone. I disagree with that. I enjoy my alone time, especially if I'm trying to create something or if I'm writing. I really like being alone. In my witchcraft, I like being a solitary right now. So I think for me, there are times that I enjoy being alone, but there are times that I enjoy being with other people. I think it depends on the context and it depends on what's happening in my lifetime to consider that. It's unlikely I will attempt to dominate a lover. I am a peacemaker. I do enjoy balance. It's a big thing in my life. I enjoy harmony, not only in relationships, but in my life in general. I don't really thrive on conflict, but I don't shy away from it if it's necessary, again, depending on what it's dealing with. I don't necessarily bend over backwards to keep the peace, and I don't feel I've ever been taken advantage of. In fact, sometimes in relationships, I've been told that I require others to bend backwards. And I think that goes with my Aquarian, my sun sign, and perhaps even the fact that I have Taurus in my moon, because I can be very stubborn. So I don't know. I mean, if I read through all this, I do find that there is definitely things that make sense to me. And perhaps this is just the interpretation that the individual who did this chart would say. Maybe another person, another astrologer looking at my natal chart might suggest that these interpretations aren't really to the point looking at the whole chart. I don't know. I mean, I will be interested to see what other people have to say in regards to this. So that's all I have for today. It was a pleasure to make this video for you. And as always, I love you. Blessed be.